grand slam hit by Drew Gilbert walked it off against the Raiders as Tennessee stayed on the winner's side of the bracket in Route 2, hosting the Super Regional the next week and punching their ticket to Omaha, the first of 3 trips to the College World Series under head coach Tony Vitello. I'm John Wilkerson with Vince Ferrara, getting the ball for the Big Orange. Sophomore right-hander number 21, Tegan Coons, making his 4th appearance, his 4th start, 1-1 with a 2.45 earned run average. And he'll be opposed by fellow right-hander junior number 42, Cam Allen. 0-2 this season, making his 4th appearance, his 4th start, and he's been roughed up a bit. An earned run average of 13.5 was outstanding for Wright State last year, especially in the postseason. So it's Tennessee and the Raiders meeting for the 6th time. Let's go ahead and get the last word from the dugout with the coach of the Volunteers, Josh Elander, and that's brought to you by our friends at First Horizon Bank. Big bank muscle, small bank hustle, the official bank of the Vols. Weekend number 4 of the college baseball season got here in a hurry. Wright State makes its first appearance at Lindsey Nelson Stadium since the 2021 Knoxville Regional. Coach, the Raiders come in, well-traveled team. They've already been at one SEC venue. Even though the record might not indicate this was the preseason favorite in the horizon, this is a team that's always ready when that first pitch is thrown, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they're coached very, very well. And, again, maybe record not where they want it to be, but they've been out on the road and having some good tests so far. And then, we got a good test on the mound tonight with a guy that threw 6 no-hit innings in a regional last year at Vanderbilt, right? So we're ready to get it going here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium this weekend.
You were able to move the lineup around significantly and add a couple of pieces that had not yet appeared at the plate on Wednesday. How cool was that, and what does that do as you try and fill out the lineup card today?
It makes it a little bit tougher. There's no doubt about it, but that's what we've asked those guys to do, make it as tough as possible to pick the best 8 around the pitcher. And, again, I think they're continuing to do that, right? So, but the way Grimmer and Wright competed, obviously they're going to be back in there today. And then, the tricky thing is with Garrett going to center, that's going to push Jay to second base, right? And he's a natural high school shortstop, right? So he's been getting a ton of reps over there as well. So we'll continue to mix and match a little bit, but it's good to have some of those older guys with some experience back in the fold.
Always appreciate how somebody works on their own time to make themselves better. If you would, give us a highlight on how hard Blake Grimmer has worked to make himself the best player he's been yet while wearing the orange and white.
Yeah, he's just done everything the right way for a long time, right? I mean, he was a very famous high school recruit, went through some injury stuff that kind of slowed him down a little bit, ultimately ended up, that's part of the reason he got to school out of high school, but, he's worked hard at first base and left field and then can really swing the bat. But I think the maturity piece is good with him. It's good when those guys get up there and it looks like they're moving slow, right? Or everything is just under control. And I think he exemplifies that. So bring some maturity there. He's had a ton of at-bats, obviously dominated the midweek stuff. So we need to get him out there on the weekend and see how he handles that as well.
Your team carries some momentum into this weekend, and next Friday it's going to be go time for the Vols at Georgia. What are some of the things you would like to see out of your team in this 3-game set?
Just want to continue to dominate the average play on defense, attack the strike zone. I think our pitching has done a really good job, and I like how those roles are starting kind of to solidify, right, where you kind of have them bracketed, hey, at this situation, we go to this guy, and again, we want to get some younger guys on the mound, some touches again. I think the more they can get out there before SEC play, the better, right? Get some of those jitters out that we saw down in Texas or whatever it may be. And then, offensively, again, I've challenged the guys like, hey, who wants to play shortstop, right? So, again, as we continue to move and match the lineup a little bit, looking for somebody to take over that spot. But, again, I think we got 3 guys that are more than capable of doing it, and those guys will continue to compete. And these 3 days will hopefully give us a better picture going into next week.
Coming off of his home run Wednesday, was there any disappointment from Ariel Antigua that he's not hitting cleanup today?
Well, no, I think the thing that was coolest was just, again, I saw the video. My wife actually showed it to me was, again, just the energy from the dugout. You could see how happy his teammates were for him. I think that's incredibly invaluable and honestly a really, really cool message, right, for how he's received. I know he puts in a ton of work right there and then hasn't ultimately had the success that he's wanted. But, again, too, with Jay going to second today, we're going to play Ariel at short, right? I think ride the hot hand a little bit. And then also, too, like we need him to be the field general today from the jump. And I think he does a good job of bringing that. So that's who we'll roll with at short today.
So your team was able to finish strong last week, winning Saturday and Sunday in Texas. You take your 2 midweek games this week. This is a very confident team that I think takes the field today. Is that a difference from the team that you saw take the field last Friday in that first matchup against UCLA?
No, I think there's been plenty of confidence, right? I think, again, like what we're doing is these guys are getting some ABs and some innings under their belt, right? So, again, with this team, it's obviously very talented, right? But, again, we need to close the gap between, hey, maybe some of those younger mistakes or, again, guys getting out there the first time. Like, the more baseball we can play, I'm confident this team will compete better and better. And then also, too, like, internal competition, it's interesting to see how guys are kind of handling that because – I mean, I've sat up there and looked at. You can write about 10 different lineups so far. So I just want our guys to keep competing, right, and get us in a spot where, as we get closer, I know sometimes this is a tricky part of the year, again. But our guys have been good about, hey, we have 5 games this week, but we're attacking each game one game at a time, and we're not worried about anything that's going on next week. So that needs to be the theme going into and then through this weekend.
Some people can get wrapped up in just simply the final score, but I know you were very pleased with what we saw out of Tegan Kuhns last week going up against the Bruins. Talk about him getting ready for his 4th straight Friday start.
Yeah, I think it's good. We just want to continue to build the pitch count, and I've been conservative with those guys. And just from, learning from Frank and V and all that, I mean, we haven't pushed anybody over 100 at all yet. So, again, you want to compete in the moment, but I think also, too, we have to be cognizant of what's coming down, with the gauntlet starting next week, right? So, I thought it was awesome. Attack the strike zone. Again, he got tagged a few times down in Texas, some really good players. The UCLA club put some good swings on it, but there was no flinch. He continued to pound the strike zone and compete. So if you have that with his stuff and makeup, we feel good going into Friday night with him on the bump.
And as far as the bullpen goes, is there somebody you've designated as the first man out, or is that going to be determined by what's going on in the game?
Yeah, I think we got to see how the game plays out, right? I know Arb is in a good spot. I thought he threw the ball really, really well. On Wednesday, getting him back out there, it was only 10 pitches or so, but it was good, or Tuesday rather. It was good to see him back out there doing his thing. So, and again, I feel really good about Brady Frederick and what he brings, whether that be the bridge or shuts down a mess or whatever it may be. So, Ren and I have talked about it. We'll kind of read and see how the game goes, but those will be two or three we'd like to get out there tonight.
And what about playing that first game under the lights? You've had a handful that finished after sundown, but this one's going to be an honest-to-goodness nighttime start. How exciting is that?
Well, I think that first night game is always, again, the guys have a little more juice, right? Again, there's just a different flavor to a night game, whether it be an SEC game or not. So I'm excited to see all the ball fans out, and then also, too, with our new lighting system and everything. I know there's some cool things coming down the tracks with that. So, but again, want our guys to get used to playing their best on Friday night and getting out of the gates and understanding we need to throw that first punch. So another good challenge for us tonight.
You mentioned that Wright State was a pain in the neck in the Nashville Regional last season. Tell us about Cam Allen and what does he throw?
Yeah, so Cam is like 90-92 up to 94. He's got a cutter and a slider and a changeup, right? So again, he's got plenty enough stuff, right? He's going to compete. He's thrown in some big moments, obviously the postseason, and he's had 3 starts that haven't gone great so far, just to be honest, and again, having some trouble throwing strikes, but clearly they believe in him, what he's done in the past, and he's had some success. So our guys, again, we need to make sure we have the right approach going against him tonight. And again, they believe in him, and we'll see how our guys compete against him.
It's the Volunteers and the Raiders. Coach, good luck in game 1.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
And so that's the head coach of the Volunteers, Josh Elander, as Tennessee has taken the field. Pretty awesome to see the lights on as they get loose. And during the national anthem, you had red, white, and blue lights that ran from left field around towards right, Vince Ferrara.
Part of the renovations with the light show and the different things you can do with it. So a great scene. And let's tell you, get you that Eastman starting lineups and tell you about Tennessee's starter here today. And Tegan Kuhns. Kuhns, sophomore, wears number 21, 6'3", 189 out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. He played at Gettysburg Area High School. Kuhns, 1-1 record, 2.45 the earned run average. This is his 4th appearance on the young season, all starts. He's worked 18 1/3 innings, given up 9 hits, 7 runs, 5 of those earned. Kuhns has walked 4, struck out 22. He's allowed 2 doubles, no triples, and 3 home runs. Opponents hitting 141 against the starter for Game 1 of this non-conference weekend set against Wright State. Sophomore right-hander Tegan Kuhns. Here's the lineup he will face for the visiting Wright State Raiders at 4 and 6. Leading off, the designated hitter Gus Gregory. Batting second, center fielder Andrew Duncan. Hitting third, second baseman Hunter Warren. In the cleanup spot, left fielder J.P. Peltier. Hitting fifth, the shortstop Braylon Bloomquist. Batting sixth for Wright State, the third baseman Patrick Foltz. Hitting seventh, the right fielder Cy Turner. hitting 8th and catching Zach Butler, and batting 9th, the first baseman Keegan Holmstrom. The starter is, as you heard Coach Elander talk about, junior right-hander Cam Allen. We'll tell you more about him and get you Tennessee's lineup in the bottom of the first.
So Tennessee, the good guys wearing their home whites, the other side wearing their road black uniforms. Left-handed batter against the right-hander as Gus Gregory looks and swings at the first pitch, and he fouls it away for strike one. He is the designated hitter, outfielder and infielder on the roster, a redshirt junior, 5'10", from Strongville, Ohio. Balls play in at third against the left-handed batter, and that pitch is fouled straight back. And that puts us at an 0-2 count. So the Volunteers will take the infield, shift it around towards first to where Henry Ford is playing where the shortstop is. Ariel Antigua has moved to the right field side of second. 3 defenders on that side. Pitch misses high and outside, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Gregory hitting 194 for the season with 3 runs scored. Appearing in his 9th game, making his 9th start. The sophomore for the Vols kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 1, and we are underway.
Pretty slider to finish off the leadoff hitter from Tegan Coons. Had the fastball cooking at 96 in that first AB. His fastball 95 to 97. Really good ride through the zone. The slider you just saw finish off Gregory, and a curveball and a change. His change has been really good.
Here is Andrew Duncan, right-handed hitting center fielder, hitting 289. Has a double and a triple to account for his extra base hits. He's driven in 3, and he takes a called strike on the inside corner. Eddie Newsom has the plate in this game. Joe Harris is working at first base. Justin Robinson at second base, and Cedric Coleman is the umpire at third. Swing and a foul ball over near the on-deck circle. And it's quickly 0-2, so Tegan Coons ahead of a second straight hitter, 0-2. Duncan wears the number 14, a 6'1 junior, Dunedin, Florida, the hometown. Pitch popped up, foul ground. Levi Clark gives chase over by the stands. It'll be out of play, and it remains an 0-2 count. So for the Volunteers defensively, it's Blaine Brown in left, Garrett Wright in center, Reese Chapman in right. The infield third to first is Henry Ford, Ariel Antigua, Jay Abernathy, and Levi Clark. And the battery for the Big Orange, Stone Lawless behind the plate, Tegan Coons on the hill for the University of Tennessee. Swing and another pop-up foul out of play, first base side. And that keeps the count the same that it is since the first 2 pitches, 0-2. Wright State enters the game 4-6, Tennessee 10-3. The right-hander, the high leg kick, ground ball up the middle, over, making a sliding stop behind the bag is Antigua. Tried to pop to his feet, but then the ball popped out of his control, and it will be a base hit and a 1-out runner for the Raiders.
Yeah, unbelievable range that Ariel Antigua has, and he showed it off there, but just a little rushed in trying to wheel and make that throw, and as John mentioned, just popped straight up in the air, but impressive for him to even get to that baseball.
So another right-handed batter, second baseman Hunter Warren, hitting .351. That's the highest average in the lineup, and they will pick to first. There are 4 members of the lineup that you have to keep tabs on running bases. Starting with Duncan, he is 6 for 6 stealing bases, and he gets a sizable lead against Coons. The pitch is rocketed into left field for a base hit. Quickly around second, digging for third. Up with it, Brown. They are going to send the runner around third, and he'll score, as it'll be an RBI double. Back-to-back base hits for Wright State, and the Raiders mark first.
Yeah, fastball upper part of the zone, and Warren was all over it and ready for it, and hammered it into that corner. Brown had a little bit of trouble digging it out from the bottom part of the wall.
So it's 1-0 Raiders. Wright State with a man at second, 1 out, and 1 in for J.P. Peltier. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, the 8 RBI tops for the team. He is the cleanup hitter Clark plays in the baseline between first and second, and the first offering is a called strike. So for a team that came in with 36 runs scored in their first 10 games, a run to start is a big step. Pitch popped up on the infield. Ford works his way into foul ground, makes a late adjustment back to his left, and indeed makes the grab. Got over fairly close to the rail, and then the adjustment was back and to his left towards the field of play. Still made it look pretty easy when all is said and done.
Man, and thank goodness, because Lawless couldn't find the ball in the air, so that was really only Henry Ford's play.
So 2 down, runner at second, 1-0 Wright State. Here's the left-handed hitter, shortstop Braylon Bloomquist. Strike 1 to the batter, curveball. As Coons looks for the last out of the inning. Bloomquist with a home run, a run batted in, hitting an even 200 on the season. Pitch misses just outside. It's now 1-1. Making his 10th appearance, starting his 9th game. The home run is his only extra base hit this year. Swing and a foul ball back to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 6 for 30 on the season. Runner at second is Warren. He drove in the run to give the visitors the lead. Ground ball, first base side. Levi Clark has it. He'll toss to Coons, who wins the foot race. Good hustle by Bloomquist, but in the end, the sophomore right-hander gets to the bag for out number 3. But back-to-back hits after a strikeout to start, and for Wright State, it's a run, a hit, a man left at second. It's the Raiders 1, Tennessee coming to bat. This is Tennessee baseball.
Bottom of the first, Wright State 1, Tennessee coming to bat. Let's tell you about the starter for the visiting Wright State Raiders. It's junior right-hander number 42, Cam Allen. Allen, 6'4", out of Akron, Ohio. Has an 0-2 record, ERA 13.50. This is his 4th appearance, all starts. He has worked 4 innings this year, given up 5 hits, 6 runs, all of those earned. He's walked 3, struck out 3. He's allowed 3 extra base hits, 1 a triple, 2 home runs. An opponent's hitting .333 against the starter for Wright State, right-hander Cam Allen. Here's the lineup for the 10-3 Tennessee Volunteers. Leading off at second base, sophomore number 8, Jay Abernathy. Batting second at third base, junior number 9, Henry Ford. Batting third in left field, sophomore number 1, Blaine Brown. Hitting cleanup for Tennessee, the designated hitter, redshirt sophomore number 14, Blake Grimmer. Hitting fifth for the balls and catching, redshirt sophomore number 27, Stone Lawless. Hitting sixth in right field, senior number 13, Reese Chapman. Batting seventh at first base, sophomore number 16, Levi Clark. Hitting eighth, the center fielder, junior number 5, Garrett Wright. And batting ninth at shortstop, junior number 2, Ariel Antigua. That is the Eastman starting lineups, brought to you by Eastman and our good friends at Food City UT Recycling and Waste Connections. Remember to put your plastic drinking cups and bottles in the recycling barrels when you visit Lindsey Nelson Stadium this season. Remember, good sports always give back.
So Jay Abernathy good to go. Left-handed batter for Tennessee. Right-hander Cam Allen good for Wright State. Third baseman plays in as Fultz in on the grass, and the first pitch misses high and outside, ball one. Jay getting a second straight start at second. 326 the average, a home run, 6 runs batted in. Has 3 doubles and a triple and a team high 11 walks. Pitch high, ball 2. 2-0 in favor of the Tennessee leadoff hitter. The sophomore from Ackworth, Georgia, wears the number 8, 5'10", 177 pounds. The right-hander kicks and fires. High again, ball 3. Light breeze stirring the flags in right center. Hit 80 degrees today. Just a fantastic night to be at the ballpark, and the crowd reflects that. The 3-0, just below the letters, taken for strike one, 3-1. Butler sets the target, slides to the outside part of the plate. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul ball to the screen. The count that was 3-0 is now full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sixth meeting all time between the two schools. The previous 5 games have taken place right here. Tennessee 3-2 all time against the Raiders. Here's the payoff pitch. High ball 4, and the lead man is on for the Big Orange.
Nicely done by Jay Abernathy, who has been excellent in that leadoff spot for Tennessee, drawing his team high 12th walk on the year, and he always can make things happen, put pressure on the opposing team defensive pitching.
Jay is 3 for 4 stealing bases. Wright State has thrown out 2 of 11 trying to steal. First pitch to Henry Ford drops in for a called strike. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Allen. Ford hitting .327 for the season. It's the second highest average among the primary starters. You've got a couple of numbers in the lineup tonight that are pretty healthy and robust. Called strike. Actually, a balk has been called. Looks like it was called by the second base umpire, and so Jay Abernathy will take second. Should be no pitch, and that would make it 0-1. So the tying run in scoring position. Wright State got a single, followed by an RBI double, top half of this inning. Ford chases a pitch, upper part of the zone. Big cut comes up empty. Should be 0-2. 4 home runs, 11 runs batted in for the Tennessee third baseman, 3 doubles, along with his .327 average. Where's the number 9? Pitch lined, nabbed by the diving shortstop, and Abernathy just darts back to the bag. No throw offered, but Bloomquist a fine play. Otherwise, this game could be tied.
Wow, range to his right, and he was in the green turf behind the cut. That was an outstanding play, but very alert for Abernathy to get back. Missed opportunity when you hit the ball solidly like Ford did.
Ford, the 6'5 junior, 220 pounds from Charlottesville, Virginia. Here's sophomore left fielder number 1, Blaine Brown, .333 the average, a team best 5 home runs, also sets the pace with 15 runs batted in. Tying run at second, the pitch to Brown is hit a mile high and fouled out of play towards third for strike 1. 6 doubles for Brown, which is also number 1 for Tennessee. 6'5", 200 pounds from Houston, Texas. A leadoff walk to Jay Abernathy. A balk moved him to second. And then a liner, a stab by Bloomquist. Man at second, one out. Ball's trying to tie or move on top. Pitch ripped in the air towards right field, ranging over, making the grab is Turner. Abernathy hustled back to the bag, but he holds his spot at second. And both Ford and Brown stung the ball, but right at Raiders. And that's 2 down. And here's Blake Grimmer trying to cash in for Tennessee. The designated hitter was 3 for 4 in his season debut on Wednesday. That gives him an average of .750. He has 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Allen, and a duck on the pond. Big cut as he chases a pitch up in the zone. Strike 1 on the swing and a miss. Blake wears the number 14, redshirt sophomore, listed as a utility player. 6'3", 208 pounds, Spring Lake, Michigan, the hometown. Wright State leads 1-0. 2 out, runner at second for Tennessee, bottom of the first. That ball roped in the air towards right field, ranging back with a beat on it as he transitions to the track. Turner makes another catch in right, and that will end the inning. So the Volunteers hit the ball hard 3 times, but right at Raiders. And so 4 the balls in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. After 1, Wright State leads 1-0. This is Tennessee baseball. A run for Wright State, top of the first. We go to the top of the second. That lead still intact. Hitters 6, 7, and 8. Third baseman Patrick Foltz, right fielder Cy Turner, and the catcher Zach Butler against Tegan Coons. Left-handed batter takes the first pitch, sends it deep and foul out of play towards left for strike 1. Tennessee again a shift around towards first base, so you've got 3 defenders between first and second. Henry Ford hanging out very close to third. Foltz hitting .132 for the season, has 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Swing and a miss for strike 2, count 0-2. This will bring Ford much closer to second base. Actually, they'll move him back to where he's about a third of the way from third towards second. Antigua moves back to his normal side of second. Pitch up in the zone, high fastball, gets the job done. Swing and a miss, strikeout number 2 for Coons, and that's out number 1 here in the second.
Man, heater upstairs and changed levels on him, and 95 on that one from Tegan Coons. That fastball has really good ride through the zone. Nothing hitter could do with that one.
Left-handed batter and right fielder Cy Turner, .333 the average. He's driven in 6. Shares the team lead with 4 doubles, also has a triple, and he takes a curveball for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Turner wears the number 32. 6'3", a senior from Pacific Grove, California. Hits that ball in the air down the left field line. Ranging over by the stands is Brown. He'll run out of real estate, and that will be a foul ball. Strike 2 to the batter. was at Memphis as well as Peninsula Community College before making his way to Wright State. One out, base is empty, top of the second, and the Raiders lead 1-0. Coons again ready. Lawless sets the target. Pitch just off the plate. 1-2. So getting underway at 6:30 tonight. Supposed to get underway at 6 o'clock tomorrow, but they have moved the start time up. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Pretty pitch. Into his bag of tricks. Back-to-back strikeouts, and it's 2 out, bases clear for Tennessee against the Raiders.
Yeah, that was that really good slider that he's been working on and was a work in progress, putting in the work on it, trying to develop those second and third pitches, go with the fastball.
Swing and a miss to Zach Butler, right-handed hitting catcher. Zach spelled Z-A-C. Has a run batted in this year. Strike one to the 8-hitter for head coach Alex Sogard. Where's the number 25? Check swing. They appeal to first. Called strike. Or I should say he went around, according to Joe Harris, in the count 0-2. Coons a chance to strike out the side. Butler wears the number 25, a 6-foot senior from Columbus, Mississippi. Played first at Arkansas State. 2 out, bases empty. Here's the 0-2 on its way. Foul ball over towards the Tennessee dugout. Count remains the same. Originally 6:30, 6 and 1 were the 3 start times. With the expected wet weather and storms potentially moving into the area tomorrow afternoon and evening, they're going to move up the start time from 6 until 3. There's a ground ball towards third. Nice hop handle by Ford. Strong throw to first. There's the stretch by Clark. 1-2-3 goes Wright State in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We move to the bottom half of the inning. Raiders lead Tennessee 1-0 as you listen to Tennessee baseball. Bottom of the second, Tennessee looks to tie or move in front. Jay Abernathy worked a leadoff walk to open the bottom of the first. And then Bloomquist, the shortstop, robbed Henry Ford of a base hit that could have tied the game. And then both Blaine Brown and Blake Grimmer hit the ball hard, but right to the right fielder. Catcher Stone Lawless, right fielder Reese Chapman, and first baseman Levi Clark all set to face Cam Allen. A run, 2 hits for the visitors, no runs or hits for the home team, and the first pitch is a fastball high, ball 1. Stone hitting .296 for the season, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. Lawless making his 10th start. 8 for 27 at the plate. Pitch on its way, fouled back. 1-1 the count. Good kick off the screen by that foul ball, tracked down by Butler. as he hands it back to the home plate umpire as a new ball is put in play. Right-handed batter against the right-hander for Wright State, who kicks and fires. Pitch upstairs once again. It's 2-1. Tennessee as a team hitting .278, 19 home runs, 80 runs batted in, 86 runs scored. The Volunteers have legged out 33 doubles and 2 triples. Ground ball up the middle, shortstop charging in, gloves it, fires to first, and that's 1 up, 1 down.
Kind of a check swing from Lawless. I think he tried to hold up, but made too much contact in coming around and got the ground out.
He's driven in 5. Third baseman will play in, but well off the line against the ball's right fielder. And the first pitch is swung through for strike 1, 93 on the letter high heater. And Chapman calls a quick timeout as he goes for a little pine tar in a can. Spring Meadow, I think, is the flavor they're going with this week. The scent. Interesting. Infield plays him straight up. Outfield plays him to go with a pitch towards left. A lot of room in right center for Chapman. Takes the pitch outside, and it's 1-1. Reese has been one of the best at drawing walks. Jay Abernathy worked his 12th to start the bottom of the first. Chapman second with 9. Pitch poked foul. Worked lower part of the zone, outer part of the plate. Right-hander coming from the outside in against Chapman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reese wears the number 13. 6'1", 224 pounds from Parker, Colorado. Pitch just misses in. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Chapman let the fastball go by.
Allen 90-94 with that fastball. He was at 93 on that last offering with a cutter, a slider, and a change. A lot of fastballs so far in this outing.
2-2 to the plate. Ground ball towards short. Waiting on it, Bloomquist. He's been busy already. That's his 3rd play, his 2nd assist, and it's back-to-back ground ball outs to short to start the 2nd. 5 straight set down by Allen and Wright State. He had lasted a total of 4 innings in his 3 previous starts. Came in with an earned run average of 13.5. Ball still looking for their first hit. Raiders got a single followed up by an RBI double, leading 1-0 bottom of the 2nd. Levi Clark climbs in from the right side, takes a strike at the letters, upper part of the zone, outer part of the plate. Sophomore from Marietta, a bit surprised at the ruling by Eddie Newsom. Here's the 0-1. Pitch high, ruled ball 1, count even at 1. Levi with a home run, he's driven in 7. Has 4 doubles this year, wears the number 16, 6'1", 211 pounds. 2 out, bases empty, bottom of the 2nd. Tennessee down 1-0. Pitch, again elevated. 2 balls and a strike to the Tennessee first baseman. Center fielder Garrett Wright hopes to get a turn. He's in the on-deck circle. The right-hander rocks and fires. Another pitch well above the zone. 3-1 to the batter. Allen. Quick trip to the rosin bag. Now back on the bump. Pitch clock is at 7. Clark is ready, as is the right-hander. Into his windup. Pitch hit a mile high. Shallow left center. The shortstop called off by the center fielder. And it will be Duncan who makes the catch, and that will end the inning. 6 straight set down by Cam Allen and Wright State. after 2. The Raiders lead 1-0. This is Tennessee baseball. Hitters 9, 1, and 2 due up for Wright State. Raiders lead the balls 1-0 as we move to the top of the third. I'm John Wilkerson with Vince Ferrara. First baseman Keegan Holmstrom climbs in from the left side, and the first pitch misses high, ball 1. Hitting .333 for the season. Has a double and a run batted in. This is just his 4th start. Freshman against Tegan Coons, who drops in a curveball. That was pretty. Called strike puts the count even at 1. Holmstrom, first baseman, left-handed pitcher, 5'10", redshirt freshman from Grove City, Ohio, was a Buckeye at Ohio State before transferring within the state to Wright State, and he takes a second called strike, and it's 1-2. Bounder up the middle, charging in from second, picked cleanly by Abernathy, throw to first, and Clark couldn't come up with it. It was a deep drop on the right side for Abernathy at second, so he came racing in. Antigua was also charging from his spot at short. And it will be an infield hit for Holmstrom, and the lead man is on for Wright State. He runs well. He does not have a stolen base attempted yet. But we might see one right here as Gus Gregory, the DH, back in from the left side. A pivot and a fire to first. They chase the runner back. First time Wright State has the lead man on. This time more of a sidewinding throw by Coons as he slung it over to Clark. Ford plays in at third. A bluff towards second. First pitch misses just outside, and I mean borderline. 1-0. Balls go double play depth up the middle. Pitch by Coons. Outside again, 2-0 now to Gregory. Can play the outfield or the infield. He is the DH for head coach Alex Sogard, who's in his 8th season at Wright State. 228 and 140, his record. An infield hit to start the inning. Back to the top of the order. And the leadoff man works a 2-0 advantage count. Back pick behind the runner, and they got him. punched out by the first base umpire, Joe Harris. The hitter on deck says he was safe. We'll see whether or not this is asked for a review.
First base coach didn't argue it.
Pitch was ball 3, so it's now 3-0 to Gregory. What a throw by Lawless. Strike on the outside corner, 3-1, channeling his inner Cal Stark.
Yeah.
With that nab. Two, 3 on the back pick. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. Coons locates the fastball. The count that was 3-0 is now full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Strikeout number 4. And that's 2 outs here in the top of the third. First punch out for Coons. It's the second strikeout for Gregory.
Fastball, lower inside quadrant, and man, that one was hard to handle from wherever you're at 93.
Duncan, single up the middle in the first inning, scored on the double that followed, and he takes a pitch low and outside, ball 1. Right-handed hitting center fielder. Wright State leads 1-0. A run, 2 hits for the visitors. Tennessee has had a base runner, 2 second. Balls hitless through their first 2 team at bats. Called strike. Pretty pitch by Coons. 1-1 to Duncan. Base hit pumps his average from 289 to 308. Swing and a pop-up foul out of play. 1-2 as Coons comes at him with a fastball. A run in the first, the only mark on the scoreboard. Coons gets the pitch and delivers. Line drive between third and short into left field. Duncan is 2 for 2. It's the second hit of the inning and a 2-out base runner. Hunter Warren, team's leading hitter, doubled to left to give his team the early advantage. He gets the opportunity again with 2 down.
Yeah, Coons has continued to do what Coach Elander was talking about in the pregame and attack the zone. He's really good at that. With that one a little bit too much over the middle of the plate.
5 runs batted in now for Warren, the double, his second on the season. A quick spin. Runner back safely. Duncan is 6 for 6 stealing bases. The team is 18 for 25. 14 more attempts than the Vols this season. Runner takes off for second. Pitch. The throw down's not going to be in time. Pretty good pitch. I believe it was ruled ball 2. Stolen base puts Duncan in scoring position. Hustled home from first on the double in the first inning. Now, with his 7th stolen base of the season, base hit could give it a 2-run lead, or could give a 2-run lead to Wright State. Pitch, lined into left field. It's going to get down for a hit. They're going to send the runner around third. Here comes the throw from Brown. It's up the line, and it is. Another RBI base knock for Hunter Warren. Andrew Duncan and Hunter Warren lead Tennessee 2-0. It's the 3rd hit this inning, and both of those base knocks coming after the second out. And so now, 2 runs on 5 hits for Wright State. And here is Peltier, who fouled out to third as out number 2 in the first. Pitch, strike at the knees. 0-1 to the right-handed batter.
Wright State from the jump, whether they've had success or not, they have come in, taken their hacks, and look confident and comfortable in the box. They don't look like their stats did coming in.
Quick throw to first. The runner back safely. It's 2 runs, 5 hits for Wright State. Tennessee got a man to second in the bottom of the first. Vols have no runs or hits. Another fire to first. The runner back. Warren is 1 for 2 stealing bases.
Well, that pickoff is big, too.
Very big. Quick trigger. Coons, a sneaky toss to first, trying to nab the base runner as he was staking himself to a lead. Nothing doing. Checks the runner over his shoulder. The pitch on its way, swung through for strike 2. 0-2 to the cleanup hitter. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. The 2 home runs, part of a 3-way tie for the team lead. 8 RBI tops, although Warren is now up to 6 as he's driven in both runs so far in this game. Runner takes off for second. Called strike 3, inning over. It was a pretty good throw by Lawless. They might have had the base runner, but that of no consequence. A second strikeout in the inning. That's 5 for Tegan Coons. Wright State puts another run on the board with 2 out. Single to left, stolen base, followed by an RBI single to left. A run, 3 hits, 1 man left. We move to the bottom of the third. It's the Raiders 2, Tennessee nothing as you listen to Tennessee baseball. Center fielder Garrett Wright, shortstop Ariel Antigua will get their first turn against Cam Allen, and then back to the top of the order and Jay Abernathy. Tennessee, the first man up for the Vols, worked a walk, but since then Allen has retired 6 in a row. And here is Wright. Made his first start for the Vols on Wednesday, was 2 for 3 as he takes a letter-high strike inside part of the plate, 0-1 to the right-handed hitting center fielder. Where's the number 5? Massillon, Ohio, the hometown, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. Foul ball to the screen, count quickly 0-2. Not only strong in the outfield, but might be even better behind the plate. 2 for 3 with a run scored, twice hit by a pitch in Tennessee's win over Oakland on Wednesday. The 0-2 tails away, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. It's 2 runs on 5 hits for the Raiders. A run in the first, followed by another run in the second, and the same 2 individuals. The base hit to set the table by Andrew Duncan. The RBI, a double in the first, RBI single in the third for Hunter Warren. Wright, the right-handed batter, batting 8th for head coach Josh Elander, who continues to engineer the offense in the box at third. Pitch hit high and foul, out of play. Gets into the stands down towards the student section. It remains 1-2 to Wright. His first hit as a Tennessee Volunteer was a bunt single. Then he lined a pitch into the outfield for his second safety. On base 4 times in the Wednesday victory. The 1-2, lined into left field, base hit, Garrett Wright. Just roped it over the shortstop's head. And for the second time in 3 innings, the lead man is on. That brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Ariel Antigua. Ariel coming off his first career home run. The junior from Lake Worth, Florida, 5'8", 180 pounds. Getting the start at shortstop. Ariel, it's his 9th start on the season. Takes a pitch inside, ball 1. 5 for 22 at the plate. Has a home run, a double, 6 runs batted in, 3 runs scored. Hitting .227. Wright, the runner at first. Draws a throw over. Jay Abernathy watching the action from the on-deck circle. Starter Cam Allen. Pitch on its way. Drops in from above the zone for a called strike, 1-1. Ross Kivett, now the recruiting coordinator for Tennessee, handles the coaching duties at first. Pitch way high, 2-1 to Antigua.
I liked your question to Coach Elander. Ariel was disappointed he wasn't in the cleanup spot. But, man, he enjoyed his home run, and he should, and his teammates are so excited for him, his first career home run.
Oh, yeah, the dugout erupted. Checks his swing, pitch a called strike, and it's now 2-2. Garrett Wright, single to left, the first hit for the Volunteers. Tennessee trails by 2. Bottom of the 3rd. Pitch hit a mile high. First baseman calling for it. He will catch the pop-up, and that's out number 1. One out, one on for Jay Abernathy. Got out in front, 3-0. Allen came back to run it full, and he worked his 12th walk of the season to start the bottom of the 1st. He was stranded at second. That pitch rocketed off the pitcher. He'll scramble, get the toss to first in time. Allen was able to turn, and so it hit, I believe, his backside. Not sure if it was the small of his back, upper thigh. He says he's okay, but what a reaction. It kicked off of him towards first, and he immediately broke to the ball. And the underhand toss to get the out. That's out number 2 as Wright gets to second. Team trainer out to take a look. He says he's good to go.
Yeah, you're right. It was the backside. That's why he had a little laugh when the trainer came out and pointed to his butt and took advantage of not hitting a bone or a harder spot. And, man, very athletic for him to get to that ball like he did against the speedy Abernathy.
You take a look. That's the fourth ball that's just been blistered off the bat, but has resulted in an out. So you've got 2 out, runner at second, and Henry Ford takes a pitch outside and low, ball 1. He hit the daylights out of it, but a diving stab to the right by the shortstop Bloomquist kept his team in front 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Tennessee looking for a 2-out hit. Ford swings through that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 runs, 5 hits for Wright State. No runs, a hit for the Vols. Wright, the runner at second. The only hit for Tennessee. And the second base runner for the Big Orange. The 1-1 line into left field, base hit. They're going to send Wright around third. Here comes the throw. It's on target, but not in time. Henry Ford gets the base knock and cuts the deficit in half. Run batted in, number 12 for the young man from Charlottesville. Clutch hit for the Tennessee third baseman. And it's Wright State 2, Volunteers 1, courtesy Henry Ford.
So well done. Again, barreled up, just like John referenced how he scorched the ball. His first at-bat found a defender. That time the shortstop was more up the middle as both defenders were creeping in a little bit behind the base runner Wright, and Ford found the hole with some velocity in the left.
Tying run at first, Blaine Brown represents the go-ahead run at the plate. Vols trail 2-1 with 2 out, bottom of the third, and the first pitch to Brown. Tried to check his swing on a pitch low and outside. He went around and it's strike 1. He took Turner and Wright to the track his first time up with a deep drive. 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in for the Tennessee sophomore. Raiders put 3 defenders between first and second base. There's a chopper foul towards first, and it's quickly 0-2 to the Tennessee left fielder. Two hits in the inning. The first for the Vols came from Garrett Wright. And then after 2 out, Henry Ford drives him in with a base knock to left. Blaine Brown hopes to keep it going. Down to the count 0-2 with 2 out. Swing and a miss as he chased a pitch off the plate. It's the first strikeout for Allen. Tennessee gets on the board. A run, 2 hits, 1 man left after 3. Wright State in front, 2-1. This is Tennessee baseball.
It's time for tonight's squeeze play competition. Tonight we've got Manning competing for Bill's prize pack. If you'd like to answer at least 2 trivia questions correctly about Tennessee baseball or Knoxville, but don't worry, Manning. If you think a question is too hard, you can say pass. Just skip the next question for the time being. If you fail to get at least 2 correct answers, you'll be ruled out. All right, Manning, are you ready? Here we go. Question number 1. Who is Tennessee baseball's associate head coach? Let's see the correct answer. It's actually Chuck Trollman. All right, question number 2. What international event took place right here in Knoxville in 1982? World's Fair. Let's see if you're correct. You are the 1982 World's Fair. And question number 3. Which famous amusement park is located roughly 45 minutes away from the University of Tennessee? Dollywood. Let's see the correct answer. And it is Dollywood. Congratulations and great job into the rest of tonight's game.
Wright State grabbed the lead in the first inning. Raiders carry the advantage into the top of the fourth. I'm John Wilkerson handing it off to Vince Ferrara.
Thank you very much, John. So it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for the visiting Raiders. Braden Bloomquist, the shortstop and 5-hitter, followed by Fultz and Turner against Tennessee starter Tegan Coons. Scattered 5 hits, giving up 2 runs. First pitch inside, fastball at 92, 1-0. Coons will clean out the dirt in front of the rubber. Playing the left-hand hitter to pull, and now Stone Lawless will go out and might have a pitch comm issue. I think he's getting a new earpiece. Yeah, I wondered why he kind of looked back into the dugout to get that pitch call. And so Lawless alertly asking for a replacement that Coons is putting into his cap now.
It's bottom of the 6th over at Lee Stadium, and Tennessee leads LSU 4-0. Lady Vols trying to get to 21-0 and 1-0 in SEC play. Marjetko got the start against LSU.
1-0, rides inside again, 2-0. Might be utilizing that depth in the circle that Karen Weekly and that staff has developed this weekend. Here's the 2-0, and that's lined. A leaping grab by Ariel Antigua. Oh, goodness. Climb the ladder. Ariel. Beautiful play. It looked like it was destined for center field, except Antigua has lift, and he went and got it for the out. Out number 1. Woo, what a play for number 2.
Yeah, turnabout fair play, as Bloomquist has done that a couple of times against the Vols.
Yeah, and like you were mentioning, a lot of 4 of them hard-hit balls that ended up being outs. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike to Patrick Fultz from Tegan Coons. Line out to short, out number 1. Wright State with a run in the first, a run in the second. Big cut, fastball 93 up. 0-2 the count now to the 6-hitter, Patrick Fultz. Fultz struck out against Coons back in the second. Vols did answer with a run in the bottom of the third. Got the bats finally going. Here's the 0-2, and that's fouled straight back to the screen. There's a fastball at 94 from the Tennessee starter, Tegan Coons. North-south pitcher. His breaking ball, a little bit over the top. Really good command, been around the zone pretty well. Here's the 0-2, and that one is turned on and hit deep, and that one is leaving the yard, and that one caught too much of the zone. Patrick Fultz with a solo home run here in the top of the 4th, and Wright State gets the run back and leads Tennessee 3-1. 3rd home run of the year for Fultz. That's tops on the club for the Raiders. It's only their 9th home run on the year. Fultz was in a 3-way tie for first with 2. And that is the 4th home run allowed on the year by Tegan Coons. Certainly ran up against some big bats for number 1 UCLA last weekend, last Friday in Arlington. So it's 3-1 Wright State, and that one is hit well. Right center gap. Chapman's not going to get it. It one hops the wall. It'll be Wright who grabs it in center and will throw it in. And Cy Turner has a double after the solo home run by Fultz. And Wright State continues to threaten now. Runner in scoring position, up 2 with the 8-hitter coming up. And Tennessee pitching coach Josh Reynolds is going to come out to talk to Tegan Coons. Boy, both of those last 2 hits for Wright State absolutely barreled. Heard Josh Elander tell John in the pregame, and he has talked about it since that outing in Arlington, that hey, he was unfazed, just stayed after it. When he'd give up a home run or give up hits, continue to attack the zone. That's a great quality to still have and not be phased and have one thing start to multiply. But you still want to be able to execute your location. And so back-to-back hits, a solo home run, and then a double to the right center gap. And here's the 8-hitter, catcher Zach Butler. Butler grounded out to third his last time up. Started to bail out. Pitch missed low. 1-0. One out runner at second for Wright State. Top of the fourth, a run across here in the inning for the visiting Raiders. And all black with white and green trim. The 1-0 is away with a fastball. 2-0. Raiders in script across the front. Green numbers with white outline. WS in white on the black helmets. Check swing upstairs. Went around. 93. And it's 2-1. Coons is a competitor. And we'll see if he can get out of this situation with one out. Here's the 2-1 upstairs. And runs the count to 3-1. It's a really good change that Wright State has hit a little bit here in this ballgame. They have come in swinging the bats confidently. 7 hits now for Wright State. Here's the 3-1, and that's popped up. Scott, shallow right, going out as Clark. It's Abernathy called off by Chapman coming in, and he makes the catch. Runner has to hold at second. That's out number 2 here in the inning. I'm not sure if Clark saw it. Abernathy looked like he was going to go get it, and then Chapman, who had the easier play coming in, was the alpha there and made the catch for out number 2. So fly out to right now, the 9-hitter, and Keegan Holmstrom, who singled his first time up back in the third, completing his second time through the order for the Raiders. And a breaking ball in there for a strike on the inner edge. 0-1. Holmstrom was then picked off in the inning. That was big because that was out number 1. And then the Raiders swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher Lawless. Fastball low at 93. And now Teagan's ahead in the count 0-2. 2 outs, runner at second. 3-1 Wright State. A run across. Teagan Coons trying to get strike 3 and out 3. Here against the 9-hitter. Holmstrom hits from the left side. That's high. 1-2. And Wright State would get a run in the inning with back-to-back singles. A single, a stolen base, and then an RBI single by Warren, the 3-hitter, who's driven in 2 of the 3 runs for the Raiders. Coons, the right-hander from the stretch, coming home. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Waved at a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. And Teagan Coons gets the K to end the inning, but damage from Wright State. They get that run back. Solo home run with 1 out and a double as well. 1 run, 2 hits, a man left on at second. We move to the home half of the fourth. Wright State leads Tennessee 3-1 as you listen to Tennessee baseball. Bottom of the fourth, Wright State leading Tennessee 3-1 with John Wilkerson. I'm Vince Farrar. Great to have you with us here at utsports.com, the UT Game Day app, or the Varsity app. Tennessee needs to answer the answer by Wright State. Wright State scored a run in the top of the third to take a 2-0 lead. Tennessee got a run back in the bottom of the third, but then Wright State came right back, got the run back on a solo home run. Cam Allen versus Blake Grimmer to start us off. And Grimmer takes a first pitch strike at 88, 0-1. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Wright State. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Tennessee Volunteers. Allen, the right-hander, coming home. 0-1 in there for a strike. Fans disagreed. And now Grimmer in the hole, 0-2. Blake, career-high 3 hits against Oakland Wednesday night in his season debut. That one a little bit high and away, 1-2. Fastball 91 from Allen. Grimmer, new and improved body, really worked on it in the offseason. Looks great. The DH today in the 4th spot in the order, followed by Lawless and Chapman. Bouncer up the middle over the mound behind second. The shortstop Bloomquist makes the throw across, dug out by the first baseman Holmstrom for the out. Grimmer bounced that one back over the mound, and Allen got out of the way of that one. He was stung by an Abernathy comebacker, and Bloomquist, showing his range, ended up fielding that on the first base side, and then the low throw was picked by Holmstrom. So 1 out on the ground out. Here's Stone Lawless, the 5-hitter for Tennessee. First pitch strike. Fastball at 91 on the outside edge. 0-1. Bases clear, 1 out. Nothing from the flags today. That is a surprise, John, when we don't see any wind whatsoever. The 0-1 taken for strike 2.
Yeah, there was slight movement before the sun went down, but now it's just the slightest of stirrings.
Outfield straightaway, infield playing. Lawless, the right-hand hitter, to pull with the second baseman up the middle. That one is away, trying to get Lawless to fish at 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Allen resets. 3-1 Wright State here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Lawless trying to get something going for Tennessee, and that sharply hit left side, but right to the third baseman on 2 hops. And Fultz throws across for the out. And there's 2 down. So Lawless, a couple of ground outs. Grimmer also 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out here in this inning. Now Allen has set down 3 straight. And we'll see if Reese Chapman can get a 2-out rally started. Chapman also grounded out to short his first time up back in the 2nd. Reese hits from the left side. Senior right fielder for Tennessee. A premium defender. And off to a good offensive start in the year. The first pitch was away with a breaking ball, 1-0. Seen his average dip just below 300 now at 297. Here's the pitch. That's away. 2-0. Staff expects a jump for Reese. He had a little bit of dip offensively during the year, but still, with that glove, his ability to throw guys out, the character guy he is, got to have him in the lineup. And the 2-0 misses. 3-0 now for Reese. And he certainly swung the bat well before the season. Here's the 3-0. That's well away. A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. Drawn by Reese Chapman. And now a man on for Levi Clark. 10th walk drawn on the year by Reese Chapman, as he is 2nd on the club in that category, 2 behind Jay Abernathy, who has 12. He walked to lead off. the first, and now a mound visit. This is their pitching coach. And Travis Farrick is also their recruiting coordinator. The entire infield will join in on the conversation.
Allen has almost matched his season total in innings pitched with what he's done tonight. And that's what you're fearful of. A program like Wright State, picked to win the Horizon again this year, came in with a batting average collectively of 222. He had an earned run average of 13.5, working just 4 innings total in his 3 previous starts. And now he's an out away from matching that. Last year in Nashville against Vanderbilt in regional action, he threw 6 no-hit innings against the Commodores.
John, he was amazing in that game. That was one, watching what he was doing to that Vandy lineup. Vandy was the number 1 overall seed, and that was game 1. They ended up losing that game, but they would beat Vanderbilt later on to advance to the regional final. Here is Levi Clark hitting from the right side. 156 season average, scorches that one, but to the net left side foul. Hammered it, but way out ahead, 0-1. Vanderbilt would become the first team, the first number 1 national seed to not even reach their own regional final. And that was thanks to Wright State's 5-4 win. But Allen in that game 1 was incredible with those 6 no-hit innings. Here's the 0-1, well away with a fastball at 91, 1-1. He faced, in that outing, 21 batters, 76 pitches, 7 Ks. He had a 10 strikeout game last year. He had a 9 strikeout game as well. The ERA was a little elevated for the year, the 1-1, and that's a bouncer to the third baseman. They're going to go to second for the force out. And, man, Tennessee is finding defenders all over the place as Clark chops it to third. And the force out of Chapman is 5-4. And that's out number 3 here in the inning. For Tennessee, no runs, no hits, a man left on. We move to the 5th. Wright State 3, Tennessee 1. Top of the 5th here at renovated Lindsey Nelson Stadium, Robert M. Lindsey Field. It is Wright State leading Tennessee 3-1. Tegan Coons, Tennessee's Friday or Game 1 weekend starter, back on the mound. First pitch to Gus Gregory, the leadoff hitter in the order, is high and away, 1-0. Fastball at 92 from Coons. Giving up 3 runs and 7 hits. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Went with the change. And Gregory was over the top. Wright State a run in the first, a run in the third, a run in the fourth. Left-hand hitter Gregory again whiffs. This time at a fastball. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Tennessee will shift their defense pull side against the left-hand hitter Gregory. 3 on the right side with Antigua and Abernathy in the green turf, and that's a called strike 3. Gregory was bailing out, thinking it was going to be 2-2. Instead, punched out by home plate umpire Eddie Newsom. And that's out number 1 in the inning. And Gregory now has struck out all 3 times coming up to bat. But here's the problem. The 2 that have given Tennessee the most trouble offensively are due up now and in the on-deck circle. And Andrew Duncan, the 2-hitter, he whacks at that one, foul right side, 0-1. That was a fastball at 94 for Tegan Kuhns. Tennessee's not gotten Duncan out. He is 2 for 2, 2 singles, an infield single included. 2 runs scored and a stolen base for Duncan. And Hunter Warren, who's also 2 for 2, is in the on-deck circle. Right-hand hitter Duncan looks at a breaking ball away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Base is clear. Wright State leads Tennessee 3-1 here in the top of the 5th. Tegan Kuhn steps back, kicks the 1-1. That's sharply hit up the middle. Base hit. And Duncan's 3 for 3. Goodness. So Duncan keeps climbing that average up. It was 325 before that at bat. And Wright State is outperforming all of their stats coming into their ball game by far. That's hit number 8 for the Raiders. So a 1-out base runner, big lead for Duncan off first. Here's Hunter Warren, who's driven in 2 of the 3 Wright State runs. A throw over to first by Tegan Kuhns. 70 pitches for the Tennessee starter. His 3 starts, he's thrown 86, 91, and 86. Tennessee playing up the middle, looking for a double play ball. Big lead off first by Duncan. Kuhns will check over there. And he's back there safely. Playing the right-hand hitter Warren to pull. So Abernathy is up the middle. A lot of room on the right side. But Kuhns would love a double play ball and get out of this inning. Another no-step throw over to first. Reset Tennessee's defense for you. Brown in left, Wright in center, Chapman in right, Ford at third, Antigua at short, Abernathy at second, Clark at first, Lawless the catcher, and Kuhns on the mound working from the stretch. Here comes the first pitch. It's fouled back to the screen by Hunter Warren. 0-1. Fastball at 90 up in the zone by Kuhns. Warren has bumped his average on the year. Well, it was tops on the club at 351. He's now up to 385. Another check of first. Throw a little off the mark. Tegan Kuhns coming home with the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Fastball at 91. And now Kuhns is ahead in the count 0-2. Wright State leads Tennessee 3-1. 8 hits in the ballgame for Wright State, including a 1-out single by the man taking a big lead off first, and Andrew Duncan. Hunter Warren, the second baseman, 3-hitter in the right-hand batter's box. Check of first. And in there safely is Duncan. 1 Wright State runner was picked off, the 9-hitter Keegan Holmstrom. That wasn't by Kuhns. That was on a back pick by Stone Lawless. 1 out. Runner at first. Runner on the move. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, but off. Actually, got a piece of it. Foul ball, I believe. Let's see. No, that might just be a swing and a miss off of the catcher. No, it's going to be a foul ball. The runner wasn't moving, and they told him that it is not a wild pitch or a swing and a miss. They got away from Lawless. It's a foul ball. And home plate umpire Eddie Newsom checking on Stone Lawless. He took that off the helmet, John. Big situation here. An opportunity to finally get the 2 and a 3-hitter combined 5 for 5, one of them out. The check of first. Back there safely again is Duncan.
Yeah, Newsom giving Stone chance to sweep out a cobweb or two by walking the ball about halfway out to the mound to get it to Coons.
Wright State, 19 stolen bases, as John mentioned earlier. They will swipe bags, and the runner's on the move, and it's popped up, drifting foul behind the Tennessee dugout, and it will get into the stands. So no surprise that Duncan was on the move. He swiped a bag against Coons in the third. So they're 19 of 26 in stolen bases. The pickoff by Lawless was the first by a catcher. The others have been by Tennessee pitchers this year. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner does not go. Throw. Back pick. Close play. Safe. Woo. Lawless got it there accurately. And a feet-first slide by Duncan that time. Maybe he thought he was going to get there a little safer. He's nodding his head no. Wow. Heard the home plate umpire there, Eddie Newsom. And he and the third base umpire will go in and take a look. What do you think real time, John?
It was close, but I thought he was safe.
Same. But Tennessee giving this a try. And, man, what an out that would be. You're facing Warren, heading to count 1-2, but that would make it 2 outs, bases clear, and a chance to get out of the inning. And you never know. I mean, when guys are dialed in like Warren is, 2 strikes or an out, they are a threat. Tennessee's infielders chatting it up right now during this replay.
And it comes down to whether or not there's anything that shows different from what was ruled on the field. That's why the home plate umpire reiterated before going to check the replay. You've got 3 of the Hawkeye cameras on the third base line. One is pointed at second base. The other is pointed at home. And the one just in from third towards home is pointed at first base. And I think that might be the only angle that they have, because the home plate cam goes out to second. You've got another cam that is view of third, and then you have an opposite side, first base side of the view at home. So you have 2 different views of home plate. You have 2 different views of second base, but you only got the one from third. And I just wonder whether or not Levi Clark would have been essentially in the way from being able to show whether or not the tag was made before the runner got back.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And even if the throw might have beaten him there, did the tag get him before he got his foot back on the bat? And will replay show clearly indisputable video evidence to overturn it? So they haven't been looking at it for a while. We lost our feed here in the booth, so we have not gotten a look at it to see what maybe they're viewing. And remember, when we get into a bigger broadcast, there'll be more camera angles, and here's the call. So the guy is safe, I think, is what the home plate umpire, Eddie Newsom, said. And so Tennessee unsuccessful with its replay challenge. And so the runner, Duncan, remains off first. He could very well be on the move here. 1 out, 1-2 count. Checker first. Tennessee thinking so. And they paid an awful lot of attention to Duncan, who is tops on the club, 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts. Big lead off first. Coons, long look, runner goes, the 1-2 foul back to the screen. Fastball 91 up around the letters. Warren pounding his chest back to the dugout. You see so many guys do that. At first I thought, well, maybe you say my bad. But some guys do that almost every time, John.
That's right. It's part of their routine.
So we'll see if Duncan is on the move again. See if Coons can get a double play ball or get a big K. And they'll check a first again. And Duncan's in there safely. Opponents 15 of 20 stealing bases against Tennessee. More emphasis on it. You see more throws to first down. Big lead still for Duncan, the runner off first with one out. 3-1 Wright State, top of the fifth. Runner on the move. Pitch is popped up infield. Who's got it? Ford is calling for it. Third base line. He'll make the catch, drifting back towards the mound. That is huge. The runner has to come back to first. And that's a massive second out. And the first time that the 2 or 3 hitters have been retired today. Pop up fair territory to third to Henry Ford for out number 2 in the inning. Now it's the cleanup hitter, J.P. Peltier. We'll check Duncan at first once again. Peltier 0 for 2, fouled out to Ford back in the first, and then struck out looking in the third. Another check of Duncan over at first. John, it is clear the different approach and philosophy in throwing over to first and trying to slow down opposing run games, really protect the 90 feet. Runner does not go, and that one is hit. Left field, deep. On the move is Wright. He settles under it. He'll make the catch at the warning track for out number 3. Woo! That sounded a little dangerous off the bat, and I think made some in orange and white nervy. But the ball settled in, no wind at all, and Garrett Wright tracked it down in left center for a long out number 3 in the inning. So Tennessee keeps Wright State where they were at. No runs, 1 hit, a man left on. We move to the home half of the 5th. Work to do for the Tennessee offense. Wright State leads Tennessee 3-1. This is Tennessee baseball.
Let's try one more. Crowd, help her out on this one. Is the next ball going to be higher or lower than number 21, Tegan Coons?
I'm thinking lower, but I'm going to go higher.
All right, she says higher. Is she right? She is. It's number 27, Stone Wallace. Congratulations and great job. Enjoy the rest of tonight's game.
A season-high 4 innings for starter Cam Allen. He leaves with the lead. He held Tennessee to a run on 2 hits. And so it will be a left-hander that comes out of the pen to take over for Wright State. He is a freshman, 5'10", wears the number 43, Michael Zielinski, Zielinski. He is from Heartland, Michigan, also an outfielder. Zielinski on the season, no wins or losses, a 3.60 earned run average, making his 4th appearance all out of the pen. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 5 innings, he has struck out 6. He's walked 3. He's allowed 1 double. Opponents hit 188 against Michael Zielinski.
Zielinski will face Garrett Wright, Ariel Antigua, Jay Abernathy. The three do up for the Big Orange, down to 3-1 with John Wilkerson. I am Vince Ferrara. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Wright State. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Tennessee. 2 hits coming in the fourth. In the third for Tennessee, where they picked up their run. Held off the board in the fourth. Garrett Wright hits from the right side. Made his debut in the box against Oakland on Wednesday night. Takes a fastball low and in, 1-0. Did come in defensively in one game prior to. Swing and a miss, big cut. Another fastball at 91. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garrett Wright 1 for 1. He singled and scored Tennessee's lone run here in this ball game. The left-hander coming home. And that one is low. Good eye. 2-1. That fastball came in at 92 from the freshman Zielinski. Open stance for Wright in the right-hand box, and that hits him. What a surprise. Garrett Wright gets bunked. He doesn't move when pitches head towards his body. And that might have been maybe a quad with the front leg. He had a hilarious explanation of why he gets hit by pitches so much. And he works at it and has worked at it. Getting hit by a pitch. He was hit twice against Oakland, hit by a pitch, to go with his 2 for 3 day and a run scored. So leadoff man aboard again for Tennessee. A bunt laid down by Antigua, fielded by the third baseman, throws across his body over to first. In time to get the out, but Ariel Antigua does the job. Kept it fair. Third baseman Fultz throws out Antigua, but the sacrifice successful. Moving Garrett Wright into scoring position at second. Well executed sac bunt by Ariel Antigua. And now Jay Abernathy with an RBI opportunity as he digs into the left-hand box. First pitch shows bunt, pulls it back way high. Breaking ball that never broke. 1-0. Hit by pitch, sac bunt. 5-3 on the putout. But Tennessee has a runner at second and Garrett Wright. 1-0 taken for a strike. Scoreboard said first pitch was way high, so it should be 1 ball, 1 strike, should be the count to Jay Abernathy. Shortstop playing up the middle against a left-handed hitting Abernathy. Pitch is high. Count should be 2 balls, 1 strike. Abernathy has not looked towards the batter. Now he does. He's set. Check a second by the left-hander coming home the 2-1. That is a little bit outside. Moves it to 3-1. Scoreboard is corrected. So the third baseman a little bit back off the line. Playing Abernathy to pull. Shortstop creeping in, backs out. The 3-1, that's a called strike 3. Abernathy was headed towards first. And a chorus of boos for Eddie Newsom from the home fans. Runs it to a full count. See if Jay can execute with 2 strikes. Runner at second. Abernathy represents the tying run of the 3-1 game here, bottom of the 5th. Lefty-lefty matchup pitch, lined left field. Peltier is under it, and he will make the catch. Runner has to hold. It's a fly out to left by Abernathy. Now 2 away here in the inning for Henry Ford. So Henry Ford drove home Garrett Wright in the third, an opportunity to do that again and bring Tennessee closer. He could also just go ahead and score himself as well and tie the game. And he has the ability to do it. Henry Ford, second on the club in home runs with 4. Second on the club in runs driven in with 12. Catcher Goes out to talk to the freshman left-hander, Michael Zielinski. And they're ready to go, and so is Henry Ford. He digs in on the right side. 333 average for Ford. 1 for 2 today with an RBI and a line out to short. He's hit the ball hard both times and takes the first pitch strike. In inner edge, 0-1. Outfield playing Ford to pull in center. Second baseman creeping in towards the bag. Wright stakes his lead. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball dove in at the hands of Ford. And he's in the hole 0-2. 2 outs. Runner at second, Garrett Wright, who led off the inning with a hit by pitch. The left-hander coming home, the 0-2. Misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Josh Elander with the signals in the third base box. Here's the 1-2. Ford in on the hands, fouls it back to the screen. And he stays alive. Zielinski got that fastball at 93 that time. Ross Kivett in the first base coach's box. Not only recruiting coordinator, but social media liaison for Josh Elander. A pitch swung on and missed. 92 fastball up around the eyes, and Ford swung and missed for out number 3. So Tennessee gets the leadoff man aboard, but cannot cash in. No runs, no hits, a man left at second. We move to the 6th. Wright State still leading Tennessee 3-1 as you listen to Tennessee baseball.
For 60 years.
After 5 innings and 78 pitches, Tennessee will go to the bullpen to bring in a new arm and replace Tegan Coons. We go to the top of the 6th. Wright State, single runs in the first, third, and fourth innings. Tennessee has managed a run. It came in the third. And it is redshirt junior number 25, Brandon Arvidsson. 6'5", 215 pounds from Dripping Springs, Texas. His second season with the Tennessee Volunteers. On the season, no wins or losses, a 6.75 earned run average, making his 4th appearance. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs all earned. In 4 innings, he has struck out 7. He's allowed 1 double, 1 home run. Opponents hit .333 against Brandon Arvidsson.
So the talented number 25 for Tennessee, as John mentioned, tasked with keeping Wright State where they are at. So a different look now. Tennessee really believes in this and does a good job at stacking guys that are much different looks. Of course, you just go righty-lefty, but Arvidsson so tall from that left side, and we'll start out against the left-handed hitting shortstop Braden Bloomquist. And he takes a first pitch strike. 0-1. Arvidsson, that power arm so big in the postseason for Tennessee. The 0-1 misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. One. That's in there for a strike. Fastball at 93 from Arvidsson. Such a high slot with that big delivery over the top. That nearly hit him. High and inside at 95. His fastball 90 to 96 with a change and a curveball. Was a candidate to start and still never know could. Wants to. The 2-2 framed but didn't get the call. And it moves the count full. That was a fastball on the outer edge. Bloomquist 0 for 2 today. The pitch. Chopper past the mound towards second. Charging in is Abernathy. He gloves it. Throws to first. In time. Close play. He thinks he was safe. Abernathy, though, fielded that one cleanly and threw accurately to first as well. And I think the runner was trying to lobby the first base coach to ask for a replay as he wanted to stop at first. And the first base coach for the Raiders patted him on the backside and said, go on ahead. We got this. And he is out number 1. Nice play by Jay Abernathy, 4-3. Here is Patrick Fultz, the 6th hitter, another left-hand hitter. And Arvidsson dots a fastball on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. That was 93. Arvidsson working quickly. Abernathy, a second baseman, playing in short right. Check swing. Did he go around? Check a third. He did not. Pitch missed low as Arvidsson went with the curveball. And he wants to do baseball. Blue glove for Brandon Arvidsson. Tall left-hander. 5 1/3 twice last year. Wicked breaking pitch, but missed the zone. Low, 2-1. That Wake Forest game, 12 strikeouts, John. An amazing performance. The 2-1, and that's low and away. 3-1.
There was a point in time last year where the switch just came on and came through for Tennessee in so many key instances, especially in the SEC tournament against Texas.
3-1 misses with a fastball at 93, and that's ball 4. And a 1-out base runner for the Raiders. Tennessee pitching has only set down Wright State in order once, and that was in the second when Coons had a little bit of a groove. He had retired 6 straight. That was the middle part of that. So here's Cy Turner. So Fultz, who homered his last time up, is now off first, and they'll check a first, and it's bounced over by Arvidsson, and Clark had to block that, keep it from getting away. Don't see a miss in the throw to first by that much often, but no damage done. Modest lead for Fultz. Pitch check swing fouled, though, to the backstop. 0-1. Turner doubled after Fultz. Put Wright State up 3-1 in the 4th with his solo home run. And Fultz has drawn a 1-out walk. And Turner has that sail over his head to the backstop, and that allows Fultz to advance in the scoring position. 91 with that fastball, but the wild pitch puts a runner in scoring position here with Wright State already up 3-1 and threatening with 1 out against Brandon Arvidsson. Better outing against ETSU on Tuesday. Curveball stayed up. Arvidsson held the glove with the baseball as he got it back up. Clearly frustrated at the lack of call there. And it's 2-1. Playing the left-hand hitter to pull in the infield, and that's Blue towards center field, and that's going to drop. Runner rounding third, he gets the stop sign. Throw home was a little offline, but nicely Snagged by Lawless. And backed up by Arvidsson, but it is hit number 9 for Wright State, and they have runners on the corners with 1 out and a 3-1 lead here against Brandon Arvidsson.
You got a team, sorry about that,
No, go ahead,
with
go
a
ahead.
pedal to the metal mentality. Turner at first is one of the 4 guys in the lineup you have to worry about stealing. And, I mean, they don't seem bashful even with a left-hander on the mound.
They look like a regional team, not a team that was 4-6 coming into this game. Arvidsson coming home, shows bunt, pitch was low. And this is one of those situations where you could see the runner on the back end on the move to try to draw a throw, and then the runner at third come home. Or a bunt potentially, and now Lawless signaling to the dugout. I wonder if we have another communication piece issue. And the home plate umpire says no, so no visit, and they'll start the 20-second action clock. Tennessee holding the runner off first. 3-1 Wright State, top of the 6th. Shows Bunny, pops it up in the air. Is anyone going to get to it? Sliding attempt by Clark. Look out. Someone for the Tennessee dugout went flying, I think, trying to get out of the way. And the athletic Clark hops back up, puts his cap back on, and everybody was safe. But you had Lawless converging and Clark, and they couldn't get to it. But what a hustle attempt by those guys. And instead, it's strike 1. First and third, 1 out. Arvidsson coming home against a right-hand hitter, and he takes strike 2. Might have come around on the check swing, but it didn't matter. It was in the zone. Tennessee holding the runner at first. Infield playing the right-hand hitter to pull. Zach Butler, who is 0 for 2 today. He's the 8-hitter and catcher. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A little bit low. 2-2. Abernathy, second baseman, playing up the middle, but on the first base side. The 6'5" left-hander from Dripping Springs, Texas, the Austin area. Coming home with a 2-2. That bounces in, blocked by Lawless, and it runs the count full. Nerves here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. What a great crowd tonight for the first evening start time of the season on a Friday night. Wright State leading 3-1. Runner on the move at first, and it's fouled off right side. So Turner will have to retreat. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Wright State. 1 run, just 2 hits, no errors for Tennessee. Top of the 6th. Brandon Arvidsson trying to keep this a 2-run deficit for Tennessee. And they'll check over at first. Arvidsson does have a team-high 2 pickoffs on the year, but not an especially big lead for Turner to this point. He does extend it out, and they'll check a first. And he's back there safely. Butler, the batter, 182 average, 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out to third. Right-hand hitter. Here comes Arvidsson with a pitch. Breaking ball. Runner was on the move. He fouled it back to the screen. And Butler stays alive. Big situation here as Wright State has come to play here in Game 1 of this weekend set. In case you missed it earlier, John mentioned it. Tomorrow's first pitch has been moved up from 6 p.m. to 3 p.m. due to expected weather. Here's a payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Big K for Brandon Arvidsson. And that's out number 2. Heater up at 91. And the 2-seamer did the job. And that is out number 2. So runners on the corners now with 2 outs. And the 9-hitter, Keegan Holmstrom, the first baseman. Left-hand hitter, redshirt freshman. 1 for 2 today, singled in the third, struck out in the fourth. 353 season average. And the runner is picked off between first and second. Tennessee throws a second. Ariel throws to first. They got him in a rundown. Runner from third coming home, and they got him. Meeks. Wow. Wright State intentionally got in a rundown to try to score the run from third, but Tennessee all over it. Arvidsson to Clark to Antigua. Back to Clark. Home to Lawless. For out number 3, the strategy backfires and Tennessee's defense was ready for it and it executed. Wow. With runners on the corners and 1 out, an Arvidsson K, and then a caught stealing at home for Tennessee. For Wright State, no runs, 1 hit. A man left on. We move to the home half of the 6th. Wright State leads Tennessee 3-1. This is Tennessee baseball. Bottom of the 6th, Wright State leading Tennessee 3-1. So the scoring on that last pickoff, the caught stealing at home, was actually 1-6-3-4-2. Blaine Brown bats for the Volunteers to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Brown, Grimmer, Lawless, 3, 4, and 5 to up for Tennessee. Pitch to Brown. The 1-0 is a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. So when the runner tried to get it in the rundown, Arvidsson actually threw to short first. And then threw to Clark, back to Abernathy, who came home to Lawless for the tag of the runner trying to steal home after the intentional rundown between first and second with the back-end runner. The 1-1 missed away with a fastball. At 91, 2-1 to the left hand. It hitting Brown, and that one is sharply hit on a hop, in between hop, snagged by the first baseman, Holmstrom, and another Tennessee batter hits the ball hard, but at a defender. And Brown, 3 unassisted, is out number 1. Zielinski hit the first batter he faced in Garrett Wright, and since has retired 4 straight balls. Here's Blake Grimmer. See if he can get something going. He was 3 for 4 in his debut for the season. Sharply hits that foul right side. That's going to ricochet back into play, so will need to be chased down. 0-1. So great start to the year for Blake Grimmer, who banged up a little back issue for him. A little late jumping in, but a 3 for 4 day with a couple of doubles and a run scored Wednesday night. And he takes an 0-1 strike. Down in the count 0-2. But he's 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. Here's the pitch to Grimmer. Nearly hits him. Turns that front shoulder back. It's well inside with a breaking ball. 1-2. So Blake's average on the season now 500. 3 for 6. Here's the 1-2 from Zielinski. Well away. Fastball at 91. 2-2. Grimmer digs back in the left-hand box. He is ready. Left-hander coming home, the 2-2, and that's turned on and hit deep. Right field. Going back is Turner. It's into the bullpen. A home run for Tennessee. Blake Grimmer with his first home run of 2026. And boy, was that needed. Tennessee is pulled within one. It's 3-2 Wright State. Home run number 20 for the Tennessee team on the year. And Blake Grimmer, who left the ballpark 4 times in his first season in the orange and white in 2025, has done it again and makes it a 3-2 game. Here's Stone Lawless in the right-hand box for the Vols. It was inside 1-0. 5th home run in a Tennessee uniform for Blake Grimmer. Just hit number 3 for Tennessee in the ball game, and that one is hacked at by Lawless, but fouled it straight back. 1-1. So Grimmer puts it into the bullpen in right. And pulls the Vols within 1. Lawless. The 5-hitter 0 for 2. And nearly hit him and scooted away from the catcher. And it's 2-1. (3-2) Wright State leading Tennessee. Vols have a run here in the bottom of the 6th. We have not seen anyone put up a crooked number yet. Everybody with single runs scored in an inning. See if Tennessee can change that with 1 out and the bases clear. That is a close pitch outside, but taken for ball 3. Lawless with an advantage count at 3-1. 330 feet for Blake Grimmer. And a big cut, came up empty and runs the count full over the top with a breaking ball. See if Lawless can execute here with 2 strikes. 90 off the bat for Grimmer, but he doesn't care. Here's the payoff pitch. That's low, ball 4. Tosses the bat, claps the hands, and he will trot over to first. And Stone Lawless represents the tying run now on base at first for Tennessee. He draws his 8th walk on the season. And the Vols have a man on for Reese Chapman, who represents the go-ahead run. Reese walked his last time up. Grounded out his first time up, and now we're going to have a pitching change by Alex Sogard, head coach for Wright State. Young coach in his 30s, who was one of the most sought after, desired coaching candidates out there after last season, and what he has done at Wright State. They've gone to the regionals in 4 of the last 5 years, and then getting to Nashville. Vanderbilt's a regional there in Nashville last year to the final instead of the number 1 national seed Commodores. Tennessee will huddle up in front of their dugout while the entire defense is on the hill. And we will see a 3rd arm by the Raiders here tonight.
Is a final at Lee Stadium as Tennessee improves to 21-0 on the season, 1-0 to start SEC play. A 4-hit shutout for Sage Margetko, and Tennessee scored 2 in the 3rd and a run in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings to just distance themselves from LSU. They'll try and clinch the series tomorrow with a 3 o'clock first pitch.
Shocking, didn't allow a run.
Yeah.
Been amazing in the circle.
So it is a right-hander that comes in. His name is Michael Bilo. B-I-L-O. Wears the number 33. A 6'4 sophomore, a right-hander from Mason, Ohio, was first at George Mason before he made his way to Wright State. Bilo on the season, no wins or losses, a 1.42 earned run average, making his 5th appearance all out of the pen. 6 1/3 innings, 4 hits, a run it was earned, and 6 1/3. He has struck out 6. He's walked 3. He's allowed 1 double, 1 home run. Opponents hit 182 against Michael Bilo.
Consecutive Michaels for Wright State on the hill. And it'll be Reese Chapman will get a first crack at Bilo. Try to continue this inning. Vols have a run in on the Blake Grimmer solo home run to right. It was Tennessee's 3rd hit of the ball. Cash in on the 2 hits in the 3rd with a run across. They've cashed in on their first hit on the Grimmer solo home run, the 20th by the Tennessee offense this year. And Reese Chapman will step in. No home runs. 5 runs driven in for Tennessee's everyday senior right fielder. Big cut. Fastball at 89. Fouled it back to the screen. 0-1. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Wright State. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Tennessee. Stone Lawless off first. 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts. Tennessee has not run a ton. Has a very short lead off first. He bluffs going, and the pitch was high and away. 1-1. Catcher bluffed back Lawless to first. Bilo, the right-hander, against a left-handed hitting 6-hitter Reese Chapman for Tennessee. There's the pitch to Chapman. That's high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield playing the left-hand hitter Chapman to pull. Shortstop up the middle. Actually, both infielders are up the middle, so there's room on the right side, pull side, for Chapman. The right-hander coming home, the 2-1. Big cut. Chased the pitch high and away at 90. 2-2. Levi Clark in the on-deck circle for Tennessee. Reese Chapman, the lone senior in the lineup. There are not many on the roster. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed. Went with a change, and Chapman was thinking fastball. And he swings over the top and down on strikes. So now 2 away with a man at first here in the bottom of the 6th. And Levi Clark will get a crack at trying to keep this rally going for Tennessee. Lawless, tying run off first. Pitch in there for a strike. And a little bit of a flinch from Clark in the box. 0-1. Clark is going to unleash and break through at some point. This might not be a bad spot for him. He's got way too much talent. And he pops that one up right side. That will drift out of play. And now Clark will be in the hole at 0-2. But Josh Elander was asked about Levi Clark recently and did rest him earlier this week in a midweek game. I think it was Wednesday, right, when they changed up the lineup and got Wright and Grimmer in just for a mental reset. He is 0 for 2 today. Fouled, popped, got under it, fouled it right side. But he stays alive. That was a breaking ball that Clark went down and got. Levi Clark, the talented sophomore. Second team preseason All-SEC. 152 the average. Looking to break through here. A lot of room up the middle. Pull side is where 2 defenders are. And good eye not to chase that one at 0-2. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, which was away. Wright State is holding the runner Lawless off first. 2 outs. 3-2 Wright State, bottom of the 6th. The right-hander coming home, swung on and missed by Wright. By Clark. And Wright State gets out of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts by Belo, who comes in and does the job against Tennessee. But Volunteers do get a run closer. A run on 1 hit, a man left on. We move to the 7th. Wright State leads Tennessee 3-2.
Because Texas Roadhouse says it's T-shirt time. Get out here, Beat fans, and make some noise because there might just be T-shirts coming your way.
Top of the 7th, the visitors Wright State leading Tennessee 3-2 here in Game 1 of this weekend non-conference series. I'm Vince Ferrar to take you the rest of the way. Here's the voice of the Vols, John Wilkerson.
Keegan Holmstrom, left-handed hitting redshirt freshman first baseman, 1 for 2 in this ball game, was at the plate when Tennessee put together a total team effort to get the last out. Takes a pitch high and inside for ball 1. It is 3 runs on 9 hits for Wright State. Ladder high strike puts the count even at 1. 2 runs on 3 hits for Tennessee. It was 2-0 Raiders going to the bottom of the 3rd. Tennessee got a run on the board. There's a hard grounder up the middle, gets through for a base hit. Second time on for Holmstrom, and the lead man is on for Wright State. As soon as Tennessee got run number 1, Raiders came back with run number 3. Tennessee just got run number 2 on the home run by Grimmer in the bottom of the 6th. And the leadoff single puts a man at first. And Holmstrom could be a candidate to run even with a left-hander on the mound. But a single up the middle, that's 10 hits against Tennessee. And the first pitch misses low and outside. Gus Gregory, left-handed hitting DH, was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Tegan Coons. Balls go double play depth up the middle. A strike on the outside corner, and the count even at 1. Wright State came in with a team batting average of .222. Pretty good pitch, misses low, and it's now 2-1. 72 for .325 as a team. And they've got 10 hits through 6+ innings. Ford plays in at 3rd. Again, the ball's deep up the middle. And a very deliberate step and a fire to first by Arvidsson to keep the runner close. Wright State played a series at Georgia earlier. Won the finale after dropping the first 2. Pitch fouled up and over the screen. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Gregory as Andrew Duncan moves into the on-deck circle to be followed by Hunter Warren. That was actually an accelerated series. They played the opener on Friday and then a doubleheader on Saturday. And the Raiders got the nightcap, Game 3 of the series. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big pitch by Arvidsson. That's a second strikeout for Brandon, and that's out number 1 here in the 7th.
The 10 hits against Tennessee pitching, that's the second most this season. UCLA had 11, but they're not expected to come from Wright State, but they've come to play.
Andrew Duncan is 3 for 3, and he has scored 2 of the 3 runs for Wright State. Takes a big cut, comes up empty for strike 1. Pretty wicked pitch from the left-hander working to the right-handed batter. Single up the middle, run scored in the first. Single to left, stolen base, run scored in the third. Single up the middle, was stranded in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Worked a fastball, upper part of the zone, outer part of the plate. 0-2 to the hitter. Duncan has raised his average from 289 to 341 in the course of tonight's game. Here's the 0-2. Pretty pitch. Tried to stop as soon as he went into his swing. Working above the letters, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Arvidsson. And that's 2 down, a runner at first for Hunter Warren.
Climbed the ladder with the
twice. Right-handed batter against the lefty Arvidsson. And that's a fire to first, and the ball kicks past Clark. The runner races down to second. And it was a low throw that skipped past Clark. And so the first error of the ball game will put a man in scoring position.
That's the second time he's yanked a throw over there. That was well short of Clark to skip past him.
So now base hit could put the lead back to 2 runs. Pretty pitch, drops in for a called strike. 12-6 action on the breaking ball from the top to the bottom. Strike 1 to the right-handed batter. Warren hitting a team-high 375. Now 6 runs batted in. Hits that ball in the air into center field. Right, tracking it. Plenty of room to make the catch, and he will. So after the leadoff single, back-to-back strikeouts, Tennessee sidesteps an error. And the fly ball is the second time that Tennessee's gotten Warren out. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Time to stretch it out at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, Robert M. Lindsey Field. It's Wright State 3, the Vols 2. This is Tennessee baseball.
It's 8:45 and 7th inning stretch time on Rocky Top. Tonight's guest, the stretch winner, is Ashley Cronin. Congratulations. Please report to our venue. Payment on the third base line. You play your big orange draw. All right, ball fans, get out of your seats. It's time to stretch those legs and vocal cords by joining us in singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
It has been an uphill climb for Tennessee. Vols trail 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Garrett Wright takes a big hack, comes up empty, and it's strike 1 as he faces the right-hander. Belo, who got the last 2 outs after the Vols climbed within 1 last inning. 3 runs, 10 hits for the visitors. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for the home team. Strike on the outside corner. Count 0-2 to Wright, getting a second straight start in center. Singled and scored the first run for Tennessee in the third. Hit by a pitch. Was sacrificed to second. Was stranded there in the fifth. Right-handed batter against the right-hander. Pitch lifted in the air towards left. Line drive. Backpedaling short of the track. The left fielder Peltier will bring it in. And that's out number 1. So Bilo has retired all 3 balls that he's faced. Ariel Antigua popped out to first, dropped down a sacrifice bunt. Looks like we will see a pinch hitter for Antigua as the head coach Josh Elander comes in to talk with the home plate umpire, Eddie Newsom. And here is Tyler Myatt. He's done all right as a pinch hitter. He is a redshirt sophomore from Tazewell. His first year in the orange and white, 6 feet tall, 210 pounds, formerly at Wright State. Third baseman will play in, right side of the infield, back. And that pitch is rocketed foul towards first, and it's strike 1 to Myatt. Tyler appearing in his 13th game, so there's only been 1 game in which he has not appeared. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, also has 4 doubles, 6 runs scored. He's walked 5 times, 3 times he's been hit by a pitch. Left-handed batter against the right-hander, 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 7th. Pitch misses just outside, count even at 1. Jay Abernathy, top of the order in the on-deck circle. Pitch by the right-hander. Called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2 as he spots the fastball. Myatt digs in. Pitch on its way. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that is a 3rd strikeout in 4 batters for Bilo. That's 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 7th, and here's Jay Abernathy. A walk. He was stranded at second in the bottom of the 1st when Tennessee had a chance to tie the game at 1. Retired on a comebacker to the mound in the 3rd. Actually, he scalded the ball, hit it off the pitcher. Pitch tails outside, ball 1. Allen scrambled off the mound, picked up the ball that had hit him, and he got it to first just in time. Last time up, it was a fly ball to left. Pitch, again upstairs, working outer part of the plate. Right-hander on the mound, left-handed batter in the box. Tennessee working with 2 out, bottom of the 7th, trailing 3-2. Pitch hit a mile high, foul out of play. First base side, strike 1 to the sophomore. Two and 1 the count. Abernathy certainly with the wherewithal to tie it up with 1 big swing. Catcher sets up on the outside part of the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 2-2 with 2 down. Bilo comes set. Pitch on its way. Just outside, and that will run the count to 3-2. Wright State 3, Tennessee 2. Volunteers working with 2 out. Bottom of the 7th, nobody on. The 3-2 on its way. High ball 4. Second walk worked tonight by Abernathy, and Jay is the first base runner for the Vols against the right-hander. It is the fourth walk issued to a Tennessee player. Henry Ford robbed on a liner to short in the first, RBI single in the third, struck out in the fifth. And we'll see a trip to the mound. And we'll find out whether it's a conference about how you pitch Henry Ford or another call to the bullpen. Malachi Paplanus is the closer. 4 wins for Wright State, and he has a save in 3 of them. Belo stays in the game. And the inning continues. Tying run at first for the Vols. Tennessee hitting with 2 out, bottom of the 7th, and Henry Ford hopes to find a gap that could score Jay Abernathy from first. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Belo. Quick throw to first. Jay scrambles back to the bag safely. Pitch catches the outside corner, called strike 1. Henry 1 for 3 in today's game, hitting .328 for the season. 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Pitch just misses outside. Good eye by the Vols' third baseman. 1-1 the count. 3 doubles for the Tennessee third baseman. Abernathy, his lead from first. Pitch lined in the air towards right, ranging back. It's over the head of the right fielder, off the base of the wall. They're going to send Abernathy around third. The throw home is up the line. This game is tied. Henry Ford has done it. Lines a single over the head of Turner and Wright. Played the carom perfectly. Got the ball into the cutoff man, and the throw up the line as they sent Abernathy all gas, no brakes, and the Volunteers have tied the game with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Second run batted in on the night for Ford. It gives him 13 for the season, and it's Tennessee 3, Wright State 3, and the go-ahead run in scoring position. Well done, Henry Ford.
Ooh, that's the most juice we've seen in Lindsey Nelson Stadium, I think, this year. And goodness, no hesitation from Josh Elander when he got the wheels of one of the nation's fastest players, at Jay Abernathy. You send him. Great job by Henry.
Blaine Brown has a chance to give Tennessee the lead. Left-handed batter against the right-hander. The first pitch is hit a mile high into left. Peltier looks it into his glove, and that will end the inning. But with 2 out, the uprising, the walk by Abernathy, the single off the base of the wall in right by Ford. Abernathy races home from first, and it's a run on 1 hit, 1 man left after 7. We're tied at 3. This is Tennessee baseball. tied for the first time tonight. 3 runs, 4 hits, an error for Tennessee. 3 runs, 10 hits for Wright State. The Raiders will come with hitters 4, 5, and 6, starting with left fielder J.P. Peltier against Vols left-hander Brandon Arvidsson. First pitch drops in for a called strike, working from the outside in. Pretty pitch, and it's 0-1. Peltier is fouled out to third, called out on strikes to end the third, flied out to deep center in the 5th. Swing and a pop-up, foul out of play. Strike 2 to the batter. Out of play towards right. Next offering. Pitch. Skips into the catcher. Looks like Brandon stumbled just a little bit as he was coming towards the plate. Ball, again, just short of home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the curveball. Pretty nice pitch. Misses outside. 2-2 to the batter. Manny Marin takes over at short for Ariel Antigua. There's a ground ball towards short. Up with it, Marin. He'll get it over to first quickly. There's the stretch by Clark, and that's out number 1. Score the put out 6-3. Antigua lifted for the pinch hitter, Myatt. And so Marin goes into the 9 spot in the Tennessee order. Here is Braylon Bloomquist. Shortstop, lefty versus lefty. Pitch. Buzz on the tower. Winds up at the backstop. Ball 1. Bloomquist into the first inning with a ground ball to first. Lined out to short to start the 4th. Bounced out to second in the 6th. Game tied at 3. 1 out. Top of the 8th. Strike on the outside corner. And it's 1-1. Ford plays in at third. Everybody else on the infield deep. Pitch on 1 hop. Backing up Marin. The ball eats him up, and the runner's going to be safe. Weird English on it as it was slicing in his direction. He went to make kind of a backhanded short hop field and just didn't come up with it. That will be ruled E6. And so Bloomquist at first now as the go-ahead run. 1 out, 1 on for Fultz. Fultz swings through the first pitch, strike 1. He struck out in the 2nd. His home run made it 3-1 Wright State with 1 out in the 4th. And then he walked in the 6th. The 0-1. Pretty pitch, called strike 2. He was the runner at third. That is, the Raiders put on the play. Runner breaks for second. It wound up being a 1-6-3, 4-2 out at home. Caught stealing. The 0-2 misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arvidsson calls on the fastball. One out, 1 on. Tennessee 3, Wright State 3. Swing and a miss. Actually, I think it's a foul tip. Just did get a piece of it. Had to go down in the zone to get it. But he gets another turn. Another 1-2. Pitch fouled away. Lifted high out of play towards left. The home run was his 3rd. That gives him the team lead He's got 4 runs batted in on the season. Runner at first, 1 out. Vols would love the opportunity to turn 2 and move this game to the bottom of the 8th. Arvidsson eyes the runner at first. Swing and a miss. That is a strikeout. The runner will take second as the ball gets past Lawless. Batter can't advance to first in that instance. That is a 4th strikeout, but now you have the combination of an error and a wild pitch. And without the benefit of a hit, Wright State has the go-ahead run in scoring position. Here's Cy Turner. He's 2 for 3. Had a single up the middle against Arvidsson. Had a double to right center against Coons. And the pitch misses low. It was a check swing, ball 1. Turner, 6 runs batted in. His 5 doubles are tops for the Raiders, and he also has a triple. Lefty versus lefty. Game tied at 3, runner at second, 2 out, top of the 8th. Swing and a miss. Wicked breaking ball from Arvidsson. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the left-handed hitting senior. 3 runs, 4 hits for Tennessee. 3 runs, 10 hits for Wright State. Pitch by Arvidsson. Pretty pitch. Dots the eye on the outside corner. 1-2 to the batter. The left-hander for the Big Orange eyes the target set by Stone Lawless. Runner at second for the Raiders. Pitch on its way. Called strike 3. Froze him. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the threat. Tennessee works around some minor traffic. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 man left. We move to the bottom of the 8th. The Vols will play for the lead, tied at 3 as you listen to Tennessee baseball.
Bottom of the 8th, Tennessee and Wright State tied at 3. New pitcher for Wright State is left-hander, sophomore number 11, J.J. Thompson. Thompson, 6'2" from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Comes in with a 1-0 record, but an ERA of 11.37. This is Thompson's 5th appearance on the year, all in relief. He has worked 6 1/3 innings, given up 5 hits, 8 runs, all of those earned. Thompson has walked 6, struck out 8. He's allowed 2 extra base hits. They're both doubles. An opponent's hitting .238 against the new pitcher for Wright State, J.J. Thompson. Thompson a year ago had a 2-0 record with 1 save worked 41 and a third innings in 24 appearances, all out of the pen, and was a member of the Horizon League all-freshman team.
Blake Grimmer, Stone Lawless, and Reese Chapman set to face the lefty out of the pen for Wright State. Grimmer pulled his team within a run with his first home run of the season in the sixth. That was against the right-hander Zielinski. And the first pitch, 92, tails low and outside for ball one. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Tennessee. 3 runs, 10 hits for Wright State. Swing and a miss. Fastball up. 1-1 the count. Second baseman drops back into shallow right. Third baseman plays a full third of the way towards second. Strike on the outside corner. 3 straight fastballs. And Thompson ahead in the count against the Vols' designated hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, check, swing. Ball pops out of the catcher's mitt. 2-2.
All 4 pitches, fastballs at 92 from Thompson.
The lefty, the high leg kick, pitch tails away. And that runs the count to 3-2. Grimmer quickly back in. The pitch. Ground ball to first. Gobbled up by Helmstrom. Holmstrom it is. And that's out number 1. 3 unassisted. Stone Lawless worked a 1-out walk in the 6th. He has bounced out to short. He's been thrown out by the third baseman. Hoping to set the table for Reese Chapman. It's Tennessee 3, Wright State 3. Ross Kivett with instruction for the Tennessee hitter. Tennessee was down 2-0 before the Volunteers got a run in the third. As soon as Tennessee scored, Wright State came right back. And then back-to-back runs. Tennessee in the 6th, another for the Vols in the 7th to pull even. 1 out, base is empty, bottom of the 8th, and we're tied. Pitch misses low and inside, ball 1. Stone hitting .276 for the season. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Also has a double. Letter high strike. Puts the count even at 1. Pitch on its way. Misses in. Ball 2. Lawless taps home plate. Gets ready in a hurry. Pitch. Slides outside. 3-1 to the Vols catcher, the 5-hitter tonight for head coach Josh Elander. The 3-1 hit high and deep. Down the line it goes. And it is a foul ball. That might have left the property. Wow. That was crushed. It was over everything, but it was hooking foul, and the count remains 3-2. Called strike on the inside corner. Lawless thought it was ball 4. Instead, he's out number 2. Rips the helmet off of his head, makes his way back to the dugout.